Hello everyone, on today's IRS Tax Refund update, we're monitoring the latest developments this tax season, including several important alerts, starting off with the lifting of holds on tax returns due to the PATH Act, which will start to happen this week, so we'll take a look at the timeline for that and when you can expect to receive your refunds. We also have the latest release date for the next round of tax refunds set to go out midweek, and the IRS has finally released its first update on this tax season, so we'll take a look at that and see how it compares to this point last year. Starting off with those tax refunds, as the next batch of direct deposit refunds are scheduled to be released and transmitted by the IRS on February 15th, as confirmed by both the tax transcript and refund status results seen here. Several of our viewers not claiming EITC or CTC indicating they're part of this week's batch. Now, do allow up until February 20th to receive that direct deposit in your bank account if you're part of this specific batch. Besides checking that refund status results, do also confirm with your tax transcripts to see if you're part of this week's batch. Now, this week, holds on tax returns and refunds claiming the earned income tax credit and or additional child tax credits will be lifted, which will fully get the 2023 tax season started. Even though we refer to February 15th as a common hold lift date each year, based off what we're seeing with tax transcripts, that date appears to be February 13th. So we will see those claiming EITC and CTC to start processing shortly. However, that is not a refund deposit date. However, a number of our viewers are seeing February 27th appear on their transcripts as their processing date, as confirmed by the tax transcript seen here. Now, the processing date indicates when the IRS expects to have your tax return and refund processed, but it's not a guaranteed date and can change. But also, for a number of you with that date, they can see their refund process and refund issued before that date. So again, for those of you asking who are claiming EITC or CTC and seeing a late February date, that is perfectly normal and does not indicate a problem with your tax return. The timeline over the next several weeks will look like this for those under the PATH Act who filed early, so particularly late January and early February. Filers should see an update, and those orange bars appear on the refund status results like seen here by February 18th. And most should see that refund as long as there's no problems with the return and not being held for audit by February 28th. We're expecting to see the first refund batches be released by the IRS during the week of February 20th with those who have claimed EITC or CTC. Now, the first indicator of a potential issue with your tax return is going to be seen on the refund status results, and if you see tax topic 151 as seen here appear instead of 152, then there's likely an issue with your return and to expect a refund adjustment as a result. From there, you want to check your tax transcripts for further information, and if you see codes 570 and 971 appear with the same date listed, it means the IRS will automatically or has automatically corrected the issue and no further action is necessary on your part. The IRS has finally released its first update this tax season, and records show they have processed 16.7 million tax returns so far out of 18.9 million filed, which is overall 88% of all those submitted. At this point last year, they had processed 77%, so that's a first sign of improvement compared to last year. Already 7.9 million refunds have been issued this year versus only 4.3 million last year. So that's a massive 84% increase, which is hopefully a good sign refund delays will be down this year. However, the average refund is down 10% this year, and that is going to be expected since many of the pandemic tax rules have since expired. Also, going into this tax season, the backlog from last year was less than half as it was from the year before. So again, some good signs, but the next several weeks are going to be key, especially as the PATH Act is lifted and millions more tax returns are submitted and entered into the system for processing. Unfortunately, at this point, we estimate there's still over 1 million who are still waiting on last year's tax refunds even now. The IRS has been relatively quiet on the remaining backlog. However, we're estimating that number is still around 1 million. As of the last report, there's still over 400,000 paper returns and 1.6 million e-file returns that need processing. That does not include the over 400,000 amended returns remaining. Many of those still waiting have brought up valid concerns why refunds and returns being submitted this year are allowed to be processed and released before last year's backlog is finished. The IRS will not address the reasons behind it, but for those still waiting and bringing this up, they're absolutely right. While there's no specific law that indicates returns should be processed by, it is appropriate, especially for those who filed before the April filing deadline, to have their returns processed and refunds issued on time. Now, for a number of you still waiting on last year's refunds from those 2021 tax returns, it is more than likely you receive your refunds from tax returns filed this year for tax year 2022 before you receive last year's. Several of you are still waiting on last year's have indicated the returns are already being processed at this point with no issues to report at the moment. Also, some may have a better time reaching the IRS or taxpayer advocate for help before the tax season really starts to pick up. Let us know in the comment section below about your ongoing tax return filing or refund issue. In the meantime, we'll keep monitoring the situation for further developments. So make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.